Let me get the recording started. Okay.
Hello, fans. Welcome to Yeah, with Lisa
And Phil.
And this week we have Dave and Mary Ann. They're local musicians. They're lifelong friends. Well, Dave is a lifelong friend of Phil's. Excuse me. And they're here to play some blues, talk about their new album, and of course, since it's a chat situation, anything else they want to chat about.
Absolutely. The album is Insanity, Sobriety, the Blues. David T and Mojo 3. So we haven't been out to see you guys in the clubs yet, so we thought we would bring you to the house instead.
and we're glad you did.
Yeah.
We haven't been out in the clubs very much in the last year and a half or so because of COVID and everything like that. And
Right.
so we're happy to play as much as we can whenever we can. And even now, booking us back out into gigs and into clubs has been slow. Just because I've had to make a change in the band with a different drummer, and then the bass player actually for our next gig is double booked, so I may actually have to cancel that. But it's all part of being in the music business, though, or whatever, you know. So
Right.
and it's for us, it's a little more challenging because it's a sideline.
Mhm.
You know, we both have full-time jobs, and we just do music on the side because we love to play.
Because you love it.
Right,
That's the best reason to do anything. Right?
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
So we were real excited enough that we went out and bought the CD yesterday and played it all day long as we were out shopping.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wondered, how did it come? How did the album evolve? I mean, I know you've had this music in you. One song in particular, I read you wrote 30 years ago.
Right.
So
Yeah, the Traveling Man Blues. I wrote, over 30 years ago in Norwood.
mhm.
When I was right before I moved out of the apartment over on Houston on the first floor of
John Leckinger's house.
first floor of John Leckinger's house. That's right. And it may have been the first song I wrote
Mhm.
as far as a complete song goes. And I've messed with it, the words and things a little bit over the years and made little changes to it since that first version. But it really hasn't changed much, you know, other than a couple of words since then.
Yeah.
And then, you know, interestingly enough, how it kind of followed the journey of my life a little bit with you know, my nephew and me teaching him guitar, and then and him actually taking to it and enjoying playing now.
Right.
When I first wrote the song, the first line in it is, you know, I met an old man today. And the premise of that line and that the thought process of the beginning of that song, I met an old man today, and on his face a smile note, and he told me of his travels. But basically the thought of when I wrote that line, I was going through some hard times in life, and it was the old man to me back then was just life in general,
Mhm.
the world, the old man I was meeting was reality, was setting in, and I was going through a hard thing, and life was teaching me hard lessons.
Yeah.
Is
So
what it was. So,
kind of a metaphor, kind of
Sorta,
a
kinda,
symbol
yeah.
of a bigger thing.
yeah, but now now I just recently did a video for the song.
Mhm.
And so, the metaphor is kind of out now. And when you listen to the entire song and go with the video, it talks about my grandfather basically buying me my first guitar
Yeah,
and teaching me guitar things.
right.
And then my nephew coming along and I taught him guitar things. And then my nephew coming back and saying, yeah, I understand a little bit more about life and so on and so on. So there's a story to it that's, it's almost twofold in a way.
Mhm.
The metaphor, the way the song is written, but now how it kind of follows the journey of my life. And it was written, prior to any of that happening, you know what I mean? So there's some irony in there, I guess, as well.
So the refrain in the song is his name does not matter. So now I can see.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, it was,
You see what
I guess that probably came along a little later, maybe. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, it just, the name, my name doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Who I am doesn't matter. The journey's still challenging and difficult, and who I am doesn't matter. And the man with the guitar is a traveling man. That was, like I said, it was right before I moved out of there.
Mhm.
And I guess that's where that came from. The man with the guitar is a traveling man.
Right.
And I traveled for many years after that, me and the guitar. I still have the guitar that I wrote it with, which I believe, if the story was correct, that year, somewhere around there when I was 19, yourself, Phil, Aaron, Tony, and Buffy, you guys kind of had a musical Christmas, and everybody got musical instruments for each other. And then the story I got was that each of you kind of chipped in a little bit. And then Tim Miller went out and bought me that 6-string acoustic.
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of credit all you guys for getting me that guitar. I had a guitar prior to that in the 4th grade that my grandfather had given me, and I had a few lessons, but I never really took to it.
Yeah.
But that guitar that you guys bought me when I was 19, I took to it.
Mhm.
And me and Tim Miller got a band together a year or two later. Might have been 4 or 5 years later, I'm not sure. And
Good old Tim.
yeah,
Yeah.
and of course, and he taught me a lot. And but yeah, me and that guitar, it's been around the block a lot now, and it's a little unplayable, but it's still hanging in my living room.
Sort of an inspiration, maybe, or
Oh
something.
yeah,
You
well,
look back at that.
I
and
love
say,
that
well,
thing. I love it. It's just
Yeah.
when it got kind of beat to death
Right.
traveling with me.
Understood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like your teddy bear.
Exactly.
Unusable, but it's there.
Yeah, exactly. Like I had a teddy bear
Mhm.
50 years ago or plus, and yeah, it eventually became unusable.
Yeah.
Well, I'm older than all of you, so.
Oh, well, good. Well, Mary Ann's happy about that.
Yeah, good. I usually the oldest one in the room when I'm with
Yeah.
David.
She's,
Well, I'll be 55 in October, so.
Then you're not the oldest
Mary
one.
Ann's got you beat.
Well,
Not by much.
when we listened to Traveling Man Blues yesterday in the car, we were just thinking, man, this is really, really organic. It's really cool. The lyrics really, were simple, and we were thinking, man, this would make a great hard rock song too. But like if a band like this Disturbed, were to play that, just different sound,
I like that thought.
Yeah, because
I
I
do.
was listening to a pod recently about Eddie Van Halen. And when you think about Van Halen, like early on in their career, so many covers, like Dance the Night Away and You're No Good and all stuff. And the songs, were inspired by an original great song that were entirely different. It's just,
He put his spin on it.
That's really neat that you say that, because, yes, I hear myself playing and singing my songs. I do,
Mhm.
because obviously I'm connected to them and I write them. But I feel like, that was one of my hopes when I did the album, is to get it out there to the world that somebody else could pick it up and do something even cooler with, you know what I mean? Or just different
Yeah.
or something. And,
Right.
and Traveling Man was,
Right.
you know, I've got probably 20 to 30 other songs that I've written, you know, back in those days, back in my 20s. But the Traveling Man Blues was the one that I obviously wanted to share
Mhm.
with the world. All the other songs on that album I've written in the last 3 to 4 years. And that really just came because I finally decided that I'm going to do an album, and I don't know, something just inspired me to start writing all these blues songs.
Right.
You know, whereas a lot of the other songs prior to that weren't always blues. They were, you know, pop or you know, stories. A lot of my stuff is storytelling,
Yeah.
you know, and
Well, I know that you're a
Which makes the
huge,
blues aesthetic.
yeah.
I know you're a huge Jimi Hendrix
Oh, yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that too while we were listening to the album, is that you have, you know, you have a voice, you know, your voice is
Reminiscent of BB King, that kind of like, it's like graveliness.
Yeah.
It's pleasant. You know, sometimes a voice can be different and not mainstream, but unpleasant,
Yeah.
like mine. Yeah, no one wants me to sing.
well, I was-
No one.
like I said, I listened to pods and there was one they were talking about Jimmy's voice and what a great distinct sound his voice was.
Yeah.
You know, that,
Yeah.
you know, he wasn't Frank Sinatra, you know, he wasn't Steve Perry.
It's recognizable.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
And
It's a signature thing.
complimentary of the music. And I felt like listening to you, I felt like, oh, you know, I can tell that's Dave, but
Yeah.
you know, that's really a distinctive, cool sound, you know. that you lauded for your singing. I think you did a good job on that.
I try to, and I guess I, you know, I sort of try to sing each song to give it the style that it needs,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
But the raspiness in some of them, I can't not have. I you know, it's
But that's what makes it you,
right.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've had to kind of roll with it a little bit, you know. I guess that kind of came with 30 years of smoking.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, there's always voice coaches who give you some idea of things to do
yeah,
to change, but you
No,
know.
I kind
as
of
a
roll with
vocal
it.
coach, but yeah,
It does.
yeah, it's pleasant. It's a nice sound, you know, and I think that's really what can sell something.
Well, we got like a wallflower over here. We don't want to ignore Mary Ann much longer.
Mary Ann Barnett,
Yeah,
Hello.
big part of the band.
big part of the band, big part of my life. I met Mary Ann 6 years ago, soon to be 7.
It was just 6 in May.
6 in May.
It was, yeah.
And we actually were working for the same company. And yeah, 6 years, and we've been doing good. She's, you know, she plays piano. I found out a couple months into our relationship,
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you are.
and she's a big reason that all this happened.
Right.
Honestly, because I didn't have a band together when we met. I would still play off and on. I was in bands for many years in my 20s and 30s, and then
Played up in Montgomery a lot, right?
out in Milford more.
Milford.
Yeah, Milford and Loveland back in the day.
Mhm.
A little bit here in Norwood. Couple of gigs. My first couple of gigs were in Norwood at the Norwood Cafe
Okay.
in a blues band.
Yeah.
And but me and Mary Ann been together 6 years. We got the band going together about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And honestly, I couldn't have done the album without her. The things that, you know, I feel that, you know, that the things I write, you know, my guitar playing, you know, I do okay. But the reason that the album is so good is because I'm surrounded by top quality musicians like Mary Ann.
Right.
The bass player on there is extraordinary. The drummer on there is extraordinary. And then there's, you know, me with the ideas and the thoughts and a little bit of guitar playing. And I'm by no means an extraordinary guitar player. You know, most of my life I was a bass player actually,
Mhm.
because I didn't spend the time practicing. And I could, you know, most of my bass playing career was playing, a string or two down here and then dumping a beer down my throat.
Multitask.
Yeah, multitasking. I was a good multitasking bass player.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
and that's, but she's been a blessing in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
We're hoping to get married in the next year or two.
That'd be
And
fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Looking
Mary,
forward to that.
your musical background, or you were,
Well, I grew up playing piano, the piano lessons when I was 5 years old, pretty much continuously through my childhood. But I was playing, I needed some music in front of me, and I can play. If someone gives me sheet music, I can play it.
yeah.
But I had never played with other musicians before, or played the piano part. When you're just playing off of sheet music, if it's a song, you're playing the melody, right? And when you're with a band, you're not doing that. You're supposed to play the piano part, right? And they don't have sheet music for, well, some bands do, but if you wanted to learn the piano riff from Leonard Skinner, that's not going to be on
You
sheet
could write
music.
your own sheet music maybe, just to
well,
help yourself, but
Well, you
kind of a
could,
cheat
but-
sheet.
Yeah,
why?
so consequently, I had to learn just how to play without sheet music.
Mhm.
And that was it was a huge learning curve, but it was exciting and it was really expanding
Right.
to be with these other musicians and to be like, they'll be like, okay, like as we came on today, David said, okay, let's do blues and E. Well, even though I played piano my whole life, I wouldn't have known what that meant, before I started with these guys. So, but now I can and I don't have any sheet music anymore. And it's very freeing. And
So you're playing by
it's
ear
exciting.
then, like you hear this is the part of the song, and so listen to this, get that down, and then,
yeah,
so then it's just kind of,
Great.
yeah, it
yeah.
is. It's a completely different, it's almost like it's a different part of my brain I'm
Yeah.
using. And
Yeah, and you've
It's
opened up
fun.
new pathways. It's healthier
Yep.
because you're,
It
doing different
is.
things.
And just realizing I don't have to play the bass line the whole time unless it's just the two of us,
right.
because we have a bass player. That's his job, right?
Right.
So you learn all this stuff playing with the band, and it's been really fun.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Maybe you all, could you play something right now together?
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of demonstrate this symbiotic.
Yeah,
relationship?
yeah. Maybe we'll do a little bit of Happy with the Blues.
Okay.
So in 2020,
Mhm.
I had, we had basically finished recording all the songs for the album. There were some little tweaks that still needed to be done, and David Pruse still needed to do the mastering on them. The way we did it was I recorded them in my living room at my house,
Mhm.
the entire album. And then I sent the tracks to David Pruse at Ambient Studios. And there's an interview for you, Phil.
Yeah, I would love to talk to
That's-
Dave.
That'd be
Yeah.
great.
He'd
Mhm.
be a good Zoom thing for you or whatever. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
great guy.
hook us up.
I will. And so I would send the tracks to him. And then there were some things with the way I recorded the drums on it. And David being a drummer, he went back and recorded a lot of the drum tracks on the album, re-recorded them for me.
Mhm.
And he's a great drummer. So I had David Pruse doing the mastering of all the tracks. And then David Pruse also did a lot of the drum work on the album,
Right.
which he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
So anyway, everything was pretty much done and he was going to be finishing up all his part. And then the pandemic hit and that kind of slowed everything down in a lot of ways. And, but I wanted to my thought was I want to get a song out there with everything already set up. So once the album's done, I won't have any hurdles to jump over in case there's a problem. And because I went through a website called CD Baby.
Mhm.
And what they give you is they give you worldwide distribution. By me going through them, they get my music on iTunes and Amazon and Pandora and Spotify.
Yeah.
And
Very similar to Anchor, which is what we use for our podcast.
is that what they do?
Similar,
They
yeah.
do a distribution type of thing like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We uploaded one spot, it goes out.
And you're all set. So my thinking was, well, I'm going to write a song that I can get recorded quick and easy
Mhm.
and be done with it. And it's just me and her on the song. And I wrote it, recorded it within a couple of days, got David to master it, and then I uploaded it and got all the accounts set up.
Right.
And sure enough, there was a little glitch to where they didn't like the name of the band, saying that David T and Mojo 3 has to be 2 different entities. So we're not going to approve this. And but after a month or whatever it was, and me back and forth with them, I'm like, no, this is one entity. It's the name of the band. You know, it's not 2 different things. So I was glad I did it, because you know, a year later when the album was all done, you know, I just uploaded it and it was good to go. So anyway, but I figured we'd do a little Happy with the Blues because it's a song that we already do by ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Incidentally, Pruse, a very prominent Norwood name.
Yes,
Yes.
Mayor Pruse.
Former, Mayor Pruse,
Yeah.
Donald Pruse.
Yep. And a lot of those Pruses are very good friends of mine, and they're great musicians themselves.
Yeah.
And
Through some great parties back in the day.
that too. Yeah. Partied with many a Pruse, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yes, we have. And,
Shout out to the Bruises.
what's that?
Derek?
Shout out to the Bruises.
Yeah, shout out to the Bruises. We love the
Yeah.
Bruises.
You Pruse.
If I wake up in the morning, still breathing fresh air, another day above ground, even when life's unfair, I'll put a smile on my face and I'll head into the light. And if I have nothing else, I won't live life in review. For little old me, I'll be happy with the blues. Well, there's millionaires and trillionaires and billionaires I know. They got their yachts and their mansions and shiny limousines, with butlers and maids, French chefs making cuisine. When I wake up every day, we all have to choose. For little old me, I'll be happy with the blues. Life will try to knock you down and misery piles on. I choose to look at the bright side, let bygones be gone. My faith will bring me through and keep my misery gone. No matter what the journey, it's still on me to choose. For little old me, I'll be happy for the blues. Play those keys for the nice people, Mary Ann.
Little me, I'll be happy with the blues.
I know the journey can be dark, the valley can be low. No matter the hits I take or the pathway I go, I'll turn it to the wind and set the sail high. And I wake up in the morning, I know I'm gonna choose. For little old me, I'll be happy with the blues. For little old me, I'll be happy with the blues. For little old me, I'll be happy with the blues. For little old me, I'll be happy with the blues. When I wake up in the morning, I know I'm gonna choose. For little old me, I'll be happy with the blues.
Nice. That starts out, that could be my brother's theme song.
There you go.
Very nice.
The one you met on the way out? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's,
Yeah.
He seemed like a nice guy, your brother.
he does.
Shout out to your
He
brother.
does.
Shout out to your
Very
brother.
nice guy.
He's a little bit
He's-
between homes right now, but you know,
He's my
he'll be
shaman.
okay.
Yeah, he's Aaron's
got a
shaman.
car.
Aaron visited, he stayed with us because the
Yeah.
upstairs apartment was vacant. Aaron stayed with us and he went to work
stays
with
with us
Danny one
whenever he
day
comes,
and he was
actually.
completely, he thought he was like working with John Henry or something because He was like splitting rails and like putting up a fence and carrying
Really?
shit around like superhuman
Oh no,
strength.
this wasn't splitting rails. This was drilling into concrete.
Well,
Wow.
he
Well,
was.
yeah.
This was an outside railing. He said, "Do you want to help me put up a handrail?" I thought he meant like a wooden banister on like a stairway. No, he meant break up concrete, fill it again.
Right.
Yeah, we had to drive all over to get the right tools and the right
Well, I remember you
the right
said you've
cement.
never seen anybody work that hard before, right?
For like $100 or something, and for the smallest amount of money, he put in the hardest amount of labor.
He's valuing himself a little better now
Unfortunately,
monetarily.
I think it's taking a toll on him though now.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that hard labor will get you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that was great. Yeah.
Mhm.
I remember the days,
I really like that song.
Thank you.
you and Tim were with Jam with, was
Yeah.
it David at the time?
A lot of different people. Tim Miller was in the Bruce Brothers band for a while.
Yeah, I remember we got
I
in the
was-
basement.
I was prior to that.
Yeah,
Played rhythm guitar and they taught me a lot of stuff.
right.
And then me and Tim Miller, we had a little 3-piece thing after that with John O'Keefe.
Mm-hmm.
John O'Keefe on drums.
Right.
And most of the things I did back in those days were very short-lived because I was a raging alcoholic.
Yeah.
And I pretty much lived in between homes.
Mhm.
That's the difficulty my brother's having right now.
Yeah, like you, that's what I was gonna say. I used to be that guy. And for me, it was alcoholism and drugs, and it caused major insanity. You guys knew me. So I was off the hook for many, many years and lost. So I got sober 14 years ago, and
Congratulations.
thank you. And that helped a lot. And yeah, thumbs up to Aaron over there. And yeah, that helped more than a lot. That gave me a life that I never had.
Mhm.
I basically lived my life from my teen years on, sort of on the run, sort of chasing something, I guess chasing a buzz more than anything.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing. I thought I did.
Mhm.
And I acted like maybe I did, but alcoholism was ruling my life, and it did until I got sober when I was 40 years old. So,
Wow.
yeah.
You are to be commended for that.
Well, thank you.
You're,
'Cause that's not easy.
Amazing.
No, it's not,
actually.
but I was blessed to see it.
It's not a given.
Got to
Yeah.
chalk it up to God, and and finding an AA program that works for me, and then the biggest part I can do is that is show up and work to stay sober.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's every day.
Yeah, it is. It's every day.
Mhm.
So
Let's take a break right now for our sponsor.
That's Anchor.
Great.
And I'm gonna get up and get the food for a second.
great idea. Breaks are good.
So, yeah, in this spot, we plug
So-
in.
I'll be right back.
We're together more than 3 weeks and you get married. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, that's our origin story.
Oh, I wonder.
3 weeks?
Yeah, we had our first date on December 8th and got married on January 1st.
Wow.
Yeah, tell her not to tell anybody that because it just demonstrates how crazy.
How long ago was that?
going on 27 years.
Wow.
It's
Apparently
94.
it worked.
Yeah,
It worked.
yeah, I haven't put the pillow over his face and held it there until he stopped struggling yet. So,
Yeah. Definitely occurred to her.
yeah, we've agreed that I'm more likely to, I don't know, hit him several times with a frozen piece of meat and then cook it and serve it to the cops when they get there.
How come all your fantasies are so violent? That's what I want to know.
Because I love you, darling.
Yeah.
Solomon, we got him when he was 5. He's a rescue. And if you want to use the massage feature, the
Oh, I
controls are on the left in a little.
I'm very good. Thank you.
She just needs to sit for a minute.
Yeah, he,
I don't give her a chair.
the reason why, whenever anything's weird, he has
Not
to
the
be
club you
petted.
would, right?
Oh.
Yeah, because he had actually been with 2 homes, both of
I
them
don't
were
want to ask you something
older,
that I'd want
and
to put
they
on the
both
show
passed
right
away,
now, but I
and
do
he
have a
ended
question
up
about that.
sheltered
Oh.
So I think that's why
Clubbing?
whenever we
Well, like
leave
how
the
long is your
house,
set?
when
I
we
mean,
come
when you-
back,
when
he
you
has
play
to
the
have
bar or
affection.
something.
Yeah, that's
Whenever
fine. We
something,
can wait till you
someone
get going
comes
again.
over, you know, that kind of thing. Now here, he was looking for the dog, because that was Andy's first visit. So what we're thinking is I might be doing some doggy daycare.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you
And
go.
Andy's like 18, 20 years old, missing most of his teeth, you know, probably a little bit senile.
Probably.
You still see Tim?
Yeah.
Tim Monopole? Yes.
I saw him maybe a year ago somewhere. I used to bump
I
into him all the
seen-
time. You know Tim?
We see him every once in a while walking across the bridge,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. He DJ'd my dad's 75th birthday party.
Yeah.
And it was second floor at the Legion, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
the American Legion up there.
I do.
And he went up the back staircase carrying stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, he's amazing.
And I'm like,
I've helped him carry stuff up that
Yeah.
staircase
Right.
30 years ago.
yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it today.
Mhm,
Right,
exactly.
right.
I know the
And
exact.
Still living behind Frisch's?
No, he's not. Sort of, I guess. He moved, he bought a house up behind the other end, the old
The
Kroger.
ones in the oven.
Oh,
Over by my old neck of the woods.
Yeah, right up around the corner. I forget the name of the street.
Mentor?
It's one of those, yeah, it's one of those short streets, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
You what?
We drove by your old house on the way
We do
here.
have a
actually.
veggie tray, but it smells
yeah?
funny.
We
Yeah. I know you just ate.
we
but-
had Skyline.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
That was
Uh-huh.
one of my
Mhm.
big
I like
reasons
Skylines.
for
Yeah.
wanting to get out. I was like, oh, we go to lunch.
Uh-huh.
well,
And Mary Ann chose Skyline, my favorite.
All right.
So you guys go ahead and eat.
we're doing this because of keto. These are low carb.
Good
Oh,
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that looks
substitutes.
good.
We try to do low carb. We're not perfect at it, but we
Mhm.
try to do better. The more low carb we do, the better we feel, or at least me anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to try allulose and erythritol. None of those other sweeteners. All that stuff is crap, except for like a little bit of
I've never
stevia
heard
for
of either
baking.
of those.
Okay. Well, what they are is they're sugar alcohols.
Mhm.
The erythritol has been in our food since like the 50s,
Mhm.
and there have been no problems. So I do research on this stuff.
Yeah,
Partly just people on YouTube who've already done the research, and
right.
then I do my own research as well. And my doctor followed up on the erythritol. It's got 0 on the blood sugar. 0. It does not affect your blood sugar. And I'm
What you
telling
eat,
you,
Mary
you
Ann?
cannot tell it's not sugar from taste.
Nice.
Mhm. The only thing with
Yeah.
erythritol is when you bake it, some people get this kind of aftertaste
I'm just checking to make sure
from
there's no
baked
meat in it.
goods. So I started using allulose, which does not give me that aftertaste.
Okay.
So we can have like, I made a birthday cake for Philip, and
Nice.
we had some, Ken and Cheryl had some, and they couldn't tell it wasn't sugar.
Very nice.
Mhm.
That's great.
And when I first got erythritol, I took it to work and I had it in a jar, and one of my coworkers was getting sugar for her coffee because the coffee maker was on my desk.
Yeah.
So it was fine, except
Yeah.
erythritol's kind of pricey.
Expensive, yeah.
But I didn't realize she was using it. She just thought it was regular sugar.
What's Aaron got?
Mhm.
Can't really see it.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a picture of my salad.
Oh,
Oh, okay, okay.
Well, just hold up your salad.
I asked to see his lunch because I
Well,
made sure he wasn't eating any meat.
The camera's on the back of my laptop. I would either have to move the laptop or
or
Dump
dump
the
the
salad.
salad.
Yeah. That's okay.
That's funny.
But-
I guess what is it? Well, it's late morning where you're at, right, Aaron? Late morning?
Yeah,
yeah, it looks like 11:36
Yeah.
yeah.
and all's well.
I know you're not hungry, but if you try one of the pita chips, it's like 8 minutes in the oven,
Yeah.
and they
Oh, yeah.
crisp up to crack, because you can't find keto crackers, and you need crunchy once in a while.
Yeah, I know I do.
They turn out pretty, I mean, surprisingly good.
Yeah, he did bring the uncooked ones in here, so,
Yeah.
That's
Like,
it.
and those are good too. But yeah, low carb tortillas. We don't do the whole wheat because I can't do whole wheat.
Mhm.
Not bad, huh?
Mhm.
Oh, and there's a microwave tortilla you can make. It's 90 seconds. It's got 3 ingredients. One of the ingredients is a little pricey. It's psyllium husk, and it has to be the whole husk.
Mhm.
Yeah, that stuff you buy for digestive. But yeah, you use it as an
right.
ingredient.
Huh.
And xanthan gum. I couldn't do without that either as a thickener.
That starts with an X, right?
Xanthan,
Yeah.
Z.
Oh, does it?
Zanthum gum.
Okay.
You know what? I don't think we ever introduced Aaron.
Nope.
Oh,
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
well, we'll do that when we get back.
All right,
Mhm,
so I'll wait till Dave's done.
mhm.
Snack.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I can-
yeah. I was hesitant to chime in actually because I wasn't introduced.
Oh,
Sorry,
I'm sorry,
Aaron.
man. That
That's
was-
all
You
right.
know we love you. You know you have your own room in our 750 square
Oh,
foot
yeah,
apartment.
no, I don't feel bad about it. And the conversation was going well, so I figured I don't need to cut in here.
Yeah, when Aaron
Till it's
stays,
time to shout out the Prues.
we just shut those doors and that's his room.
Very nice.
Mhm.
I love this architecture room.
Isn't it?
Cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what sold us, that Moorish thing.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a
And then
lot of that.
Philip put
this
in the
neighborhood,
doors.
you know.
Because we were gonna be moving his sister in. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. And we got those at the Restore. It was like, I think we spent less than 150. We wouldn't have spent that much, but we had to buy the hardware new.
Right,
Right.
We couldn't find that secondhand, but the doors, yeah.
all right,
So,
so
mhm.
There you go. I
Okay, welcome back to listeners. I have done an injustice. Our friend Aaron is with us again this week, and I forgot to introduce him at the beginning. Say hi, Aaron.
Hello.
yeah. To be fair, I forgot also.
Yeah.
So-
What, just me?
But it's a pleasure to have you, Aaron, as our co-host. And
It's a pleasure to be here. Hello, Dave. Hello, Mary Ann.
And
Aaron.
always good to see you. Hope all is well in
Likewise.
California.
All's well.
Any questions from Aaron before we get going on this end?
I might have had some earlier, but they just dropped out of my head. So no.
All good.
Oh yeah. Does Mike Cruz have a career in music?
I'm not sure what he's doing as far as career-wise goes, but I see that he posts online from time to time. And he's got a nice music room and he's still playing bass. And I really haven't talked to him a whole lot. But
Yeah,
yes, he's
and every time I'd see him with the bass, I'd make him play the Barney Miller theme song for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Love that tune.
We've actually been watching
It
that.
slaps. Excellent. I love that show.
He still plays though.
Good.
That was funny. That wasn't funny at all. But when Tim passed away, Dave, his brother David, thought that I played guitar for some reason and wanted me to play. And I was like, I don't. You know, so, but I guess that was part of the, the music kind of was central to everything
Yes.
that we all did as friends when we were back in the day, you know, when we hung out, we'd go to concerts and parties and stuff like that. It was always Van Halen playing, and then Bon Jovi came
Right.
along, and I was like, oh man, this is crap, you know. And it's like there's Led Zeppelin and all this stuff.
Oh yeah, Led Zeppelin.
And
Mostly vinyl in the apartment too.
yeah, everybody's where I bought Dave's album. You go up there, get bootlegs and stuff.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
available on
Oh,
vinyl.
Is this for me?
It is now, yes.
Oh, okay.
I was planning on leaving it with you.
Oh, man, that's
And
beautiful.
I brought it so you could show it on the podcast.
Yeah, let me see if I can get
There
that
you
in
go.
frame.
And that's
Yeah, maybe get up and hold it to the camera.
Yeah.
and that's the yeah. And
Show
that-
the cover on the back too.
and that's the big reason that I
We're gonna have to get a I've been wanting to get a turntable because we have some of my dad's old records
yeah.
downstairs. Yeah, we even have like 78s.
Wow. And that's why one of the big reasons I wanted to do this album was because, you know, we are all children of the album age, and I wanted my own record. You know, if I'm going to do this, I don't want a CD. I mean, sure,
Just a CD.
just a CD, exactly.
Mhm.
I want a vinyl record, if nothing else, for me and myself, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's where it all started, was with the vinyl records. And
How many were pressed?
I pressed 300 CDs, 300 albums, and then I had 300 CDs made as well. 300 of each.
Yeah.
And you know, hey, I may die with 298 of them, Aaron.
Who cares?
Yeah, you got your-
I have. I've sold more than that already. But
Probably the same price to do 300 as it is to do one.
exactly.
Not
That's
much
why I did
different.
it. You know, it was. I just went ahead and did the 300 to get to the next price break, honestly.
Right.
You know, I figured that if I live long enough and I sell, a few a year or 50 a year or 40 a year, whatever it is, then they'll last a while. You know, and but ultimately that's why I did it. I wanted my own vinyl record.
Mhm.
It's so cool. They're carrying it down at everybody's records, which is just so neat.
That's
And,
awesome.
you know, to see it there in the.
It's such a
in
part
the
of
stand.
our childhood.
Yeah.
Youth.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
cool. And we were in there one day and they were playing it over the,
Oh,
through the
that's cool.
Oh,
store.
wow, cool.
So it was just,
Did they know you were coming or?
yeah,
Okay.
we
Yeah.
knew
I had
them,
them
so.
play.
Well, still, that's
But it's
pretty cool.
It's a really cool experience.
Well,
Everybody
yeah.
hearing it.
It was before
in
it
a
got-
record store.
Before it got pressed, they sent me 4 sample albums, vinyl.
Mhm.
And I wanted to hear them in different settings, not just
Uh-huh.
on my record player. I wanted to hear them in different places. So I had Mary Ann take one home to listen to it at her house. And then I have 2 different record players at my house that we listened to them on. And then I went down to everybody's and asked them to play it so I could hear it in an open setting
Right.
and see if it sounded good before I approved the pressings.
Mhm.
And it all sounded great. So once again, David Cruz did a phenomenal job mastering it. And
Mhm.
I couldn't be happier.
I really enjoyed going to everybody's, just just the going there and stepping back in time. And then I walked in there and it had so much cool, the posters and the shirts. I
You
bought a
had to
shirt
leave
while I
with
was there
extra
too.
stuff,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've gotten
that's great.
shirts.
a Zeppelin shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We it hasn't changed,
Mhm.
you know, since we were in there in the 70s and 80s.
Right. I think I'm gonna go back. Like I hadn't been there in years. I think I'm gonna
Oh,
go
it's
back
fun. We
some
go there
Saturday.
regularly.
We go there regularly. Pat Dorsey, I went to school with him, and great guy. He's been managing it for 29 years or something. So
Okay.
yeah, so everybody's records, we love it there. I was gonna go to some other record places and talk to them about selling it for us, but I kind of decided just to Amazon, they can get it on Amazon,
Mhm.
at least a CD for now. I'm not sure why the vinyl isn't up there. It should be, but it's not yet. And then at everybody's, I'll just keep, everybody's been good to me, so.
Right.
So is Amazon a proposition? I mean, do you have to do extra stuff or?
No, it's all done. CD Baby does it all, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure why the LP isn't up there yet. I need to look into that. They've had the LP now for a couple weeks at CD Baby. It should be. Sometimes
syncing
things
up.
take a few weeks, so,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, because a lot of things we say, vinyl is definitely a trend.
yes, it is.
And I had this big kind of discussion with my nephew once because he was saying, I got this CD and I said, oh, you got a new record. And he's like, no, it's a CD, it's not a record. And I'm like, hold on. Record is record, as in recorded, as in recording.
Yeah.
So it is a record. It is simply in CD format.
There you go.
It's not
Because I have
necessarily niche
issues.
New school now.
yet.
Good job.
But it's like part of the
Yeah.
culture that I thought maybe had, evaporated. Like there used to be like wizards, and then there's a
Mhm.
record theater and
Yeah,
everybody's of course, and so it was just really cool to go up there yesterday and kind of step back in time a little bit.
Oh, so
and buy an
Yeah.
old friend's album.
Right. That was the
Mm-hmm.
best part.
Yeah,
I couldn't find it.
Muses records too.
What was that one?
Muses.
yeah.
Muses.
I remember music.
Yeah, they were more jazz, but they were on short vine.
Mm-hmm. Wizards was
Yeah, I don't
the
know
whole.
if there's a record of music place on short vine anymore. I don't think there is. I mean, not the last
Probably
time I was
not.
there, that's been a while though.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
We went to a record swap, or what do they call that? A records flea market at Bogart's one day.
yeah.
That
Oh,
was
cool.
fun.
Okay, is Bogart still there?
Yeah.
Then that's still there.
Yeah, Bogarts is there.
That's not the same thing.
Bogarts is about the only thing still there. Is the cupboard
Yeah.
there?
It was kind of neat just to go inside Bogart's again. I
Yeah.
haven't been in there in 20 years probably.
Yeah,
So that was neat, you know.
yeah.
And
Yeah, it's all still there. You know, you feel like that's all gone with my childhood, but it's not. You know, it's somebody else's
yeah,
experience.
we went in the cupboard for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
And
think
So the
Prince
cupboard
played
is there.
Actually, now
He
that I think
did,
about it.
as Red and Blue. It was a secret show.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they advertised Red and Blue and people showed up and it was Prince.
Oh, that'd blow your mind, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Wow.
because my friend wanted to go, but we ended up not going for some reason. I don't know why. I don't remember. It's been
You're
a
like,
long
"No."
time.
Yeah, right. That would've been
No,
the
no,
night.
I think we ended up drinking and just stayed home.
It happens.
We had access to my dad's liquor cabinet and he was out of town.
Well,
We might have been underage. No, I think we were old enough.
so I want to talk a little bit more about these live performances because Tony, our friend Tony Miller, and I know
You
she's
need a tissue?
attended a couple times, right? And before COVID hit, you know, you were starting to gain momentum. People would come and see you guys live,
yeah,
and we missed our opportunities or didn't take advantage of them. You know, I intend to take advantage of.
we'll be back
People
out
are
playing.
You know how it is with guys over 50, they don't like to drive in the dark.
Yeah, right. But
Plus, he wants to be able to have a cocktail and, you know,
Sure.
right.
Yeah.
We're not super nearby, you guys.
No.
usually
not
we play out.
super.
No,
you know,
it's a
I
bit
was
of a
thinking
drive.
maybe we could even like use it as a hotel night.
Yeah, just to
Like
get
get
out.
in the pool, you know,
Yeah.
go to the,
We
yeah.
do that. We've been known
Make
to
it
do
an
that.
event.
That's a good idea.
Most of the time we do that for Indianapolis, but we can do it for you.
Yeah. Well, I'd like, you know what? Now I'm getting off the beaten path here, but I'd like to
Okay.
take that the Milford bike trail. You know, just to see what all what kind of scenery you can catch.
It's a
through
good
that.
idea.
Yeah,
That's
Um,
lovely.
yeah. Even if it's just a little
And I do
walk
have
or
a bike
whatever.
I can use. It's a recumbent bike, so I can go with him, not right now, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, but you could go without me.
Yeah.
It'll be
But my-
okay.
Only problem is, am I running my brother?
So, say hello. He'll probably bike past you and not even notice.
I'm just kidding. But so these
How
live-
long's
how
the
long is-
trail?
Huh?
Along the trail.
Same question. How long's the trail?
Yeah, how long? Yeah, well, I don't
don't
know, but I think it's connected with other trails where you can go like up to Chillicothe or
I'm
something.
Yeah.
pretty sure it's
Yeah.
an extensive network of trails.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's like almost all the way up to Erie,
yeah, that's
as
pretty
in the
wild.
lake thereof.
Nice.
But I'm wondering
yeah.
how long you're.
That's the goal, to have a whole network of bike trails throughout the whole state. I know they're building a couple of new ones over there at Hyde Park.
We bike, but not that kind of bike.
Yeah,
His brother does, but his
We're
brother
like the
gets into,
motorized type.
he gets into like hobbies, but, and those hobbies kind of obsess. They
Yeah.
take over, and
That's what they do
right
with
now,
us.
I think he's biking like 150 miles a week.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Wow.
So I'm wondering, like, how long
and that's Milford,
is a
that's where
set?
he
If
lives.
we were, how long is it?
Live sets, well, the times have changed because this COVID thing. A lot of gigs start earlier.
Mhm.
I'm not sure where we'll be playing as far as time settings, but our next gig is going to be at Chappie's in Milford,
Mhm.
and we're going to be playing from 9 to 1. We're supposed to be there September 11th, which is Saturday, but that's a little up in the air at the moment because I have to see about the bass player, whether he's going to be able to make it or not. And it's just short enough time to where I don't feel like I want to bring a new bass player in to try and learn our sets.
Right.
The normal is to play 3 1-hour sets,
Mhm.
take a half-hour break in between each set. A lot of times I'll play or will play a long first set. I like to play for an hour and a half because when sets end, people leave.
Mm.
So I like to keep people there as long as I can. And
Mhm.
also the double side of that is that I don't drink. I'm in the bar to play music. So I like to play music longer instead of just doing that 1 hour. So we'll
Yeah.
play for a good long 1 hour and a half,
Yeah.
take a short break, 20 minutes and then get back at it. Our breaks are usually shorter than most because I'm not there to be hanging out in a bar.
Right.
I don't need to be hanging out in a bar.
Right.
When I was a drinker, I was a professional drinker.
Yeah.
So-
Not to be too agreeable, but yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Philip doesn't like to drink in public. He likes to drink at home. He'll have a, after.
It's fine. It's fine to agree with the truth, Phil. It's fine. You can hear them both have seen me wasted off my rocker many, many, many times.
Yeah.
Seen it.
When I
Some
drank,
good times, though.
when I drank and drugged, I never
You
had
hold
one.
back.
Didn't pull any punches.
I never had one. And so, and that's a blessing even today, kind of in staying sober, because when I think about drinking, I don't think about having one,
Right.
so I know better than to think that I can have one,
Right.
like some normal, or to have three. I'm sure there's many times in Aaron's in your life where you guys have had 1 or 2 beers
Mhm.
and stopped. And for me,
That is not an option.
that is not an option. I'm an alcoholic. When I drink, I drink. And,
It's to your credit that I'm really, it's
Yeah.
inspiring that you've been able to
that was-
not only get off of it, but stay off of it.
it's come,
Yeah.
a lot of people have helped me, Mary Ann being one of them, it's just nowadays I look at all the blessings I have in my life,
Right.
Aw.
and she's one of them. Like I said, this album would not have happened without her, granted, I'm the force that pushed it through and makes it happen. And I wrote all the songs, they're my ideas and whatever, but like I said, without being surrounded by other very qualified, talented musicians, herself, Matt on bass, Dale and David Pruse on drums. Dale Russell was the drummer on the original tracks, but some of his stuff had to be replaced because of the way I recorded it.
Yeah.
So, but luckily David Pruse was talented enough to figure that out and to give us a quality top of the line recording.
Yeah.
If you sit down and just listen to the drum tracks on it, you can tell that, it's just top of the line stuff.
Studio grade
Right.
Yeah.
performing.
And yeah,
And I found that a lot of the times the art side tends to just do the art and not go anywhere with it. So would you say that maybe you're a little bit Sharon to his Ozzy?
Oh, Sharon to his Ozzy.
Yeah.
I guess maybe that would be accurate.
And I think the woman behind the man is an excellent, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's, I really believe that females got us out of the trees. I really believe that. And I know that financially speaking, I don't know if Philip would have ever moved out of his parents' house.
Well, yeah. A lot of things that we've been able
You
to
know,
accomplish is
yeah.
because, I've been sitting there paralysis by analysis, like, it's
Yeah.
impossible
And I'm like,
for us to ever
just
own
do
a house
this.
or something.
Do
Can't
this.
buy
Yeah,
a
he said
car
that
right now.
2 hours before 2 years before we bought our house, he said, there's no way we'll ever be able to buy a house.
Yeah, and then
And I
she
was
would
like,
just do
really?
it, make it happen. So,
Okay. We'll
I would be
see.
lost without
It's
Lisa.
definitely
too.
very
Definitely.
self-motivated, but I
Mhm.
think, I've maybe helped in the way that, he's gotten his emotions are in the right place,
Mhm.
that he's recognizing the blessings in his life and that he can write the things that he's writing. It's all very positive messages in this album
Yeah.
of gratitude, of, thankfulness, of, looking at things the right way in life. And I think, maybe some of those things would have been written
of
back in
donuts.
the day. Yeah,
Yeah.
donuts.
Yeah,
Oh my
right.
gosh, we should do
That
that.
is a great
Why
song.
don't, let's
Yes,
get another,
please,
let's
'cause
do
I
at least
love
another
that song.
song
That's
here if you don't
hilarious.
mind. Maybe,
Mhm.
Yeah, we could fool around with something. I don't know if we'll do a whole tune or whatever, but
Okay.
maybe we could mess around with a donut tune. I'm used to playing stuff with the drummers, so
yeah.
we haven't done a lot of the album stuff on.
Are you doing donut shop in A?
I do have a question. When you did the musical instrument Christmas, What instrument did you get, hon?
Oh, back in the day?
Yeah,
Yeah,
back in the
they-
day.
You know,
Do
I
you
can't,
remember?
the majority of things that people got were like tambourines and things like
Flute.
that.
Okay, that
phone,
makes
maybe?
sense.
I don't remember
Percussion stuff. Yeah.
percussion stuff
Yeah.
mainly.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
recall
yeah.
ever having a.
I think a shaker. I had some. I think he gave me a shaker egg and a shaker like can.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know it was, I'm sure Tim was the
Instigator.
instigator in the whole thing. And,
I think I still have those somewhere.
and you have a guitar that I sent home with you last time, right?
Lars does. It's in his room.
That may have been the time I dropped acid. I don't know. The musical instrument Christmas.
One of the times. Well, you better believe we were all getting high and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a good time. We can mess around with a little donut shop blues here. Like I said, well, a lot of these things I honestly haven't played a lot of since we recorded it.
Mhm.
You know, because there weren't any gigs and
Right.
the album wasn't out. And to be honest, a lot of these songs I wrote and recorded and then moved on to the next one.
Right.
You know, so
Do you want to maybe, should I do tambourine or piano?
I don't know. Let me get going in it and see what we got here. So, you know, what is it? I woke up this morning, the police pound on my door. Woke up this morning, the police pound on my door. Not sure what they want me for, baby. But there's 20 or 30 of them, if not more. I woke up this morning to the police pound on my door. I woke up this morning to the police pound on my door. Not only do they think I made a getaway, they think I robbed the donut store. I opened the door, and what did I see? 35 policemen pointing their guns at me. I swear I didn't do it, baby. I was home all night by myself. Y'all can come in and take a look around. There ain't a sign of a donut on my shelf. I opened the door, and what did they say? Hands behind your back, boy, we're coming to take you away. I swear I didn't do it, baby. I'm not the donut thief you seek. I'm an innocent man, but my future's looking pretty bleak. I knew them donuts were gonna put me away. I've been fighting the habit every single day. I've been trying to quit them, but I can't stop. Now I'm being accused of robbing the donut shop. I'm an innocent man, baby. I know they see me there every day. I got them donut shop blues, and now I can't get away. Thank you. Yeah, that's a fun song, and
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Buskins.
Anyone who knows David knows that this song could potentially be true with as much as he loves donuts.
Oh, I see. Okay.
What's your favorite?
Eclairs, probably from Buskins.
Really? No, I've never, I like the kettle Danish and the plain Danish.
Kennel Datis are
And
very,
the maple long johns, because they've got that special cream in them.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
but the kettle Danish and the plain Danish.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
For
man,
me,
so-
the plain Danish from Buskins is the closest thing you can get to an item smelling as good as it tastes.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
That's
you would have
interesting.
liked living
Yeah.
on our place because we were within a stone's throw of Buskins. And every Sunday morning,
Oh,
probably every
Lord.
morning.
Yeah,
I was only
their
up
house
some-
was directly behind the dumpster that was
Wow.
behind Tom
The whole
Baldwin's.
neighborhood smells
So it
like.
was literally across the street
Wow.
behind the dumpster. That was where
Wow.
their house was.
I love that yeasty smell.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
everybody on the block had diabetes.
Yeah, well, no, because I actually lived on
They got a donut
Zumstein.
shop blues.
Really?
Right.
I actually lived on Zumstein about like in this apartment building called the Gregsonia.
Mhm.
And if my window was open, I smoked donuts like 24 hours a day. And it actually, I ate less donuts. I craved less donuts when I
Oh,
was
I
living
can see
there,
that.
smelling it all the time.
Yeah.
So people were like, how can you not go get donuts when you can smell it? And I'm like, I don't know. I think I got immune.
I think
Because
that's
it was-
accurate.
I would
think that
literally
happens.
pass Buskins every single day getting off the bus.
Right.
You know, it was right there. So, but I think, and when we moved away within like 2 or 3 weeks, I was like, I have got to have some donuts. And it's got to be Buskins. It's just, they brought Holtman's over here and we did try them before we went keto and that was okay. They did have this blueberry thing that Philip bought that was good,
Yeah.
but
We live by
But- and
Holtzman's.
Dunkin's
That's
is,
what we get.
eh.
Okay.
Okay, well, what do you recommend from Holtman's, just out of
Oh, I
curiosity?
get eclairs a lot.
Yeah,
That's me though.
Yeah.
You know, and
I don't like the eclair pastry for some reason.
it's different everywhere
Yeah.
you go.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's the
So
only thing
maybe
with
I could try
eclairs.
that,
But you're right though, because they're not all as good as others. Buskins
Right.
has been my favorite. But
Yeah.
we get Holtzman's when we get them. We try not to get them anymore
Right,
because I get a whole bunch of them and it's
Yeah.
not what I need to be eating.
Your baker's
Right.
dozen or
Yeah,
whatever.
at least.
Mhm.
So.
We probably shouldn't even be talking about it. or
No, we
might
shouldn't,
be-
'cause
We're
I-
gonna be doomed on our way home.
Sorry.
We're gonna be passing
Leave
some of the
the
guns
gun.
on the way home.
Leave the gun and take the cannoli.
I think I put myself out of keto last night because we went
What'd you
to
say,
a
Aaron?
Chinese buffet.
Something about the cannoli.
The cannolis.
Yeah, leave
Oh,
the
yeah.
gun and take the cannoli.
Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Movie reference.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, what movie?
I forget.
The
Aaron?
Godfather.
Yeah,
The
the
Godfather.
Oh, really?
Godfather, that's right,
Okay.
that's right, yeah.
Well, that's why women don't.
Well, that
know
could be a half
reference.
hour. It's one of my favorite movies.
Although I have seen that movie 5 or 6 times.
At least. Well, this has been fantastic. This is better
Yeah.
than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
It's been,
it's always good, but this is one of the best ones yet.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's
So
so much fun.
Good people,
Yeah.
good company.
so nice to have,
Yeah.
live
And our-
company too. you know.
Aaron's here, so the entertainment is top notch.
Right.
It was so good, he didn't feel he had to interject much.
Yeah. Right.
So that was helpful. When we had, what's his name on? Not Lou Diamond,
Andy Furman.
Andy Furman on.
Yeah.
Aaron had like his whole own set of questions.
Oh,
Completely
yeah?
separate from
Nice.
Phil's.
Yeah.
So that
We
was
almost
kinda
scared him
cool.
off.
Yeah.
Andy was like,
They-
this
yeah.
is gonna be crazy. You know?
We still kept it to the appropriate time range.
Good.
So, yeah.
Well, we were very happy to come down here. I've been wanting to see you guys for a while because
Yeah.
I haven't been down
Yeah,
to see you since prior to Tim passing.
right.
And obviously that was a heartbreaking thing for all of us.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I
And,
love Tim. He's a
and-
great
Was,
guy.
was
great
that
guy.
when you had the chicken pox?
Big rips.
That's something
I
else.
couldn't
someone
go.
else.
Yeah, I couldn't go.
Yeah,
to his-
I had gotten
to his
shingles.
funerals. Yeah.
And he had never had the chicken pox. And his mother told me he had had them, but she forgot the fact that he's 9 years younger than all of his siblings.
Oh,
So he had never had it.
Gotcha.
So he got the chicken pox and couldn't go anywhere, and it was driving, he was
I thought-
calling the doctor like every day asking, can I get back to work yet? Can I get back to work yet? And our doctor's very nice and actually answers the phone.
Yeah.
So, he was like, no, 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 no.
That was when Tim passed,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
when they had the funeral up here.
Yeah.
I said, I was like, can I drive? I wanted somebody to go. I thought maybe I could drive
And
Lisa and
that's,
drop
and
her
that's
off.
when David wanted you to play
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah,
Well, you'll be happy to know that I left work in the middle of the day that day, and I went to that funeral, and I played Amazing Grace on the
Aw.
guitar for those people.
well, I
That's
wish I
sweet.
could. That's one of my regrets.
So it was,
Not here.
it was the universe wanting one of us to do it, and it got done. Because of Tim's love for the guitar and for music. And I just felt like I had to do it because I loved him. And without him, I wouldn't have got to enjoy the gift of music that I've got to enjoy all these years.
That's beautiful, man. I'm glad. I'm glad that you were able to
And
do
the
it.
only thing could have made it better is if you would have been there, Phil, because I
Yeah.
always enjoy seeing you and Aaron, of course, and Lisa, you too.
Thank you.
But obviously we go further
Yeah.
back. So
Right.
it's always with all the insanity that I lived through, that I put myself and other people through back in those days. I will always have fond memories of the times that I spent with Phil and Aaron's family and that group of people. Yeah, you guys were really good to me, and a lot of good comes out of those memories, and that all that stuff intertwines with the Pruses and things because I spent a lot of time with them
Right.
afterwards. So
Well,
anyway, I guess we'll,
The same time.
yeah. So I guess we'll wrap this up with a little bit of blues.
Sounds great. Take it out.
Yay! Good time, everybody. Great seeing you, Aaron.
Guys.
Yep.
And
Thank you.
we'll pack it up and we'll see you next time.
All right.
All right.
All right.
See you with the next album.